Welcome to Ryan's Lost Media. Alright, so this is for anybody that wants to get Evil Dead 2, whether it would be in 4K or in physical media. Now, I have it in the first version that I got it, which was a long time ago. It is the DVD version, back when it was in Blockbuster, with this classic cover art, right? So, yeah, the DVD version, I would say, is way better than the 4K version, even though some people do want to get the 4K version because it looks cleaner, the sound and the visuals. Well, you still will not be disappointed in a DVD version, even though it is 720p, but it has been digitally remastered. And the reason is because when you're watching in 4K, it is a little bit too damn clear. And I've heard people say this about past movies from the 80s, that sometimes when you watch these older movies and they're in 4K upscaled, they look a little bit too clean, and you could tell that where the special effects are, such as, and remember when the Evil Dead 2, when there's this big heavy Cenobite girl and she is in the basement, and when she is fighting Ash and you see there's a bunch of mist, a bunch of fog that's in the basement, and you could tell when she's attacking Ash, you could straight up see all the cables that are holding her up. And also when the main cabin looks like a giant set piece. I mean, and also there's been some times when they make 80s movies, they make little like mini sets. Like they have a little set that's like this big and it's that thick, and it's just so they could use the camera angles to make certain objects look bigger, like cars and stuff like that. 80s camera visual practical effects tricks. So yeah, also this 4K does come with the Blu-ray version. I have not seen the Blu-ray version yet, but because, like I said, if you want to keep that original atmosphere of an Evil Dead movie, you should watch it in the DVD version, because when it's sometimes too clean, it sometimes gives away its atmosphere. Then you're like, oh, it's not as enjoyable. It's not as scary. It doesn't feel creepy. The sounds are not as raw. And also the grain, the little bit, makes this actually a little bit more tolerable. I don't know, it's just my first time experiencing a 4K Blu-ray that I was like, you know what? I don't really want the 4K. I'd rather just stick with the DVD and probably buy another DVD just in case of disc rot or something like that. But it doesn't say you should knock off the 4K version of the Evil Dead 2, because if you are someone who is into practical effects, you want to make your own movie, or perhaps you want to, like I say, study a movie, right? Study how would they incorporate a splash effect? How would they use one character to float in the sky? All right, they'll put it right here. They'll put the mist right here. And that's how Gloria could look like she's creeping up on Ash, stuff like that. So if you are like a student of film, or if you're just a fan of knowing how special effects are made, then you should get the Evil Dead 2, because you could mentally break down scenes that you want, that you think of, and you think are necessary for your own personal development. So that being said, if you are a fan of the Evil Dead series, and you do want to get Evil Dead 2 on physical media so it can last in your collection with its artwork and its vibes, I would suggest, and it is me personally, to get the Evil Dead 2 DVD version. That's going to be the end of this video. Hopefully you guys find these movies available to watch, to own in physical copies of. And Klaatu Barada Nikto. Klaatu Barada Nikto. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, if you know where that's from, shout out to you, because that's a cool reference, right? All right, peace out.
Once again, I would like to say thank you for watching.